Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Today, we are talking about social media. Social media has changed every aspect of our lives, including the way we consume. This development has significantly affected businesses, mainly through enabling new marketing strategies. Tourism, being one of the most vibrant sectors of the global economy, is undoubtedly a part of all this. Nowadays, every generation uses social media, not only millennials, although there are certainly the ones who mostly plan their vacation depending on what they see on their feed. Look at those stats. We have, yes, this slide. So, when it comes to travelers and social networks, it's surprising to discover that almost 85% of millennials use someone else's social post when planning their vacation. Around 43% of them won't go on vacation if they can't be sure that their followers can see their vacation posts. Why? 34% book a hotel because they saw it via user generated content. People from all over the world keep using social media channels to talk about their travels. I do. In fact, 74% of people who travel use social media while on vacation. I do as well. During 2099, social media users kept generating a travel-related hashtag search volume of 1 million every week. According to recent research, social media became a vital part of tourism companies' strategic operations during the pandemic, and consumption increased by 72%. With those stats in mind, it's pretty clear that social media is quite an important asset for the tourism sector and for our members, sport, and associate as well. So please, before we start the interviews with our guests, I would like to ask you a couple of questions to all of you. You can answer to our poll via Zoom. It's really simple. So, first question, which one of you has a personal profile on social media? You have answered? Yes. And the second one is which one of you has a port or a company on social media? Just answer yes or no. Everybody has answered. Do you need some more time? Anya? It's up to you.
I don't know why I don't see the responses. Did you all answered? Yes?
I have answered the question, so I don't know.
Okay, they have answered.
Yeah? Okay. So
I can see the results.
Good.
Sarah. Hello, Sarah. Can you see the results? Which are the results?
Okay, then I can finish it.
Okay. So anyway, also you have answered yes or no. We have some tips and good practices to share with all of you. And if you need some Medcruise is here to help you with it, and you will see how. So let me now introduce my three valuable guests. We'll be discussing all together this vital side of our promotion and how much social media has changed the game. I am glad to receive first Claudine Paul, president of Lemonade. Do I have really do I really have to introduce you, Claudine? You are the most famous consultant in the cruise industry. Thank you for sharing with us your great experience today and some great collaboration you have with MedCruise very soon. Then Elena Casas, good morning. Most of us don't know you yet, but you are a MedCruise community manager. Elena, you will take us behind the scene of our social media communication, and this will lead to, for sure, to our last guest, Genoveva Climent from Port Tarragona. Welcome, Genoveva. It is a pleasure to have you here. You are Commercial and Business Development Director, and you tell us the importance of social media in the port's communication. And let me say hello as well to your colleague, Sandra Domenech from Tarragona Cruise Operations Department. And I am also happy to have two of our board directors with me today. Good morning, Cristina De Gregori. You are in charge of PR, marketing, and communication at MedCruise. Good morning. And good morning, Francesca Antonelli. You are MedCruise Senior Vice President, but also in charge of the Professional Development course. You and Claudine have some exciting news to share today with our members.
Yes, we have very good news. Thank you, Anne-Marie, for having me here as a host. And yes, just to begin with this morning coffee, I have wonderful news. As you know, we have decided to dedicate the training during this mandate to the issue of sustainability, both environmental and social. And so we have started it at the end of last year in Istanbul, where we have been able to do a course on basic concept of environmental aspects in cruise traffic. But as Caesar's wise principles dictates, we do not only have to be sustainable, we also have to be perceived as sustainable. And, you know, we think that one of the most or the best weapon to promote and communicate everything that the industry and everything that MedCruise Port and Associates member are doing on these topics are precisely social medias. This is why, apart from preparing a new PDC at the end of the year on sustainability, in which we are going to go deeper into this subject, we have decided to dedicate a session to social media networks to learn how to better communicate all the efforts we are making. And who better than an expert like Claudine Paul to reveal one or a couple of her secrets. That is why MedCruise is very proud to announce that the next 19th of April at 1:00 p.m. Central European Time, we have an online session where this great communicator will talk specifically about how to communicate about cruises in social media. So before I ask Claudine if she can give us a little bit of preview of what she is preparing for us, let me tell you something about our trainer. Claudine is very well known for almost all of us. She is an expert in communicating. And by the way, she speaks English, Spanish, and French. And she is an expert in building teams for raising the bar for customer experience and destination impact. And as you mentioned, Anne-Marie, in 2020, she founded Lemon & Consulting, from where she strategically assists clients in areas such as product development, customer satisfaction, destination recovery. And also, what interests us most about her as an expert for the PDC in April is social media marketing. You know, there are many experts in social media communication, and by now, I think all MedCruise Port and Associates member, probably we all have all made one or more courses on the subject. But where there are not many experts is bringing together the two aspects, social media and cruising. So having said that, I think it's time to give the floor to our guest. But first, I would like you to tell you that the registration for the PDC will open April 5th, if I'm right, right after Seatrade in Fort Lauderdale. And that it will be online. And so Claudine and MedCruise has decided not to limit the number of attendees. So please set the date in your diary right now. So now, Claudine, dear Claudine, what are you going to do in this course, the 19th of April? What topics are you going to cover, and how are you going to structure that hour and a half that we are going to spend together? But don't reveal too much, just a little bit amuse-bouche, Claudine.
Thank you so much, Francesca. Thank you, Anne-Marie. And thank you to everyone for having me here. First, I want to say a huge thank you to Giannis, my good friend, because he's the one who connected me with Francesca and Figgin for this great opportunity. We're going to be spending an hour and a half together. The topic is connectivity through social media. Our goal in this 90 minutes is to help you stand out either by a port, a vendor, whatever your business is how can you help that business stand out in social media, specifically with our cruise sector? How can you be seen and heard in a different light? What hashtags to use? How can you be known? But then on top of that, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the campaigns. How can we create a good campaign? And as well, how can you use your own personal social media to help your brand, either your personal brand or your social brand as a business? That's enough. I'm giving you enough right there. I think that gave you enough to want to come, right? Put your thumbs up if it's a yes. Okay,
Yeah.
I like it. So thank you so much. I am honored, so honored. And I will say, I love the social media that you guys put out as an organization. Thank you so much. And I look forward to April 19th.
Oh, thank you, Claudine. I think we all look forward your session with Francesca. It was a good amuse-bouche, actually. And yes, it's a topic useful for everyone. If you have a port, if you are port authority for our service members, whatever they have as a business. So yes, thank you so much for this collaboration. It's going to be an epic one. And Francesca, you said you will have to leave sooner because of Valencia Spring Festival. May we do some family picture right now? Because yes, so I
Thank you.
won't miss
I
you.
really appreciate
it. Please. Anya, can you? Yes. So open up your cameras, everyone, and
make sure you are leaving
yes,
after.
thank you. And then I'll get back to you, Claudine.
A ver. 1, 2, 3. Good morning. Cheese. One more. One, two, three. Cheese. Okay.
Thank you so much. So yes, Claudine, let's get back to you. I said it, you are also president of Lemonade, your consulting business. Can you tell us more about your business? What is your main activity with Lemonade?
Okay, thank you so much. So our main area of business, we have two areas that we really focus on. One is working with governments and ports with the customer service experience. So what is the experience like when people get off the port? What is the entire experience all the way through? We work with frontline staff, we work with governments coming into the destination. And then from there, we also work on the social media and marketing, helping ports stand out. So if you see that we're a brand ambassador for a company or a government or a port, we're helping them with their social media strategy, how to stand out on social media. Those are two areas, as well as product development. We work a lot with that. How do you make your tour product? At Sea Trade Cruise Global, I'll be doing a workshop actually on the fam trip experience, how to stand out, how to strategically use communication on the fam tour experience, and as well have a panel on social media. So those are some of the areas, Anne-Marie. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm really happy to be here and to learn from the people that you have today. Thank you.
My great pleasure. Yes, so it's a title of this session actually. So Claudine, based on your consulting experience, what is the real power of social media in our promotion?
Well, it really helps you stand out and to be seen and for everybody to know. I'll share with you. I started Lemonade in 2020 in the cruise industry during the pandemic where everything was shut down. I didn't think that this business could start, but it really got going. And the reason it did is because I stood out in social media. In a time when there was nothing, I came into social media and really brought everybody together. And that truly helped. So when you look at a business, the power of social media is really what can take someone from a person who has a business to a person who can really stand out. Same thing with a port. You can really be recognized. Let's say, for example, a port is online and on social media. Who's on there? You have the itinerary planners, you have decision makers online, and they are watching. They may not like the post, but they're always watching. And I've experienced this so much when executives come up to me and they're like, I saw what you posted about this. And I'm like, I didn't think that you even saw that. And they're like, we see everything, right? And then the power of sharing. There's a post and it gets shared around. And if you're associated to that, there's connection. And that's where the true power is. Thank you, Anne-Marie.
Social media connected everybody during the pandemic. And as I said, the way we consume, but also the way we communicate evolved since the pandemic. And now it's the common use of connection is social media. So, and you are also social engagement partner at C-Trade. What does it mean?
So as a social engagement partner at C-Trade, my job is to keep everybody up to date what's going on, to make the posts, to create the videos, to make sure that everybody's connected, that the excitement is building. On top of that, we'll be doing some interviews at C-Trade Cruise Global and doing some things with their social channels, which is kind of fun as well. And the newest thing that includes some social media is I am now the host of Cruise Combos. So I started Cruise Combos back in the pandemic, and now I have it as part of C-Trade Cruise Talks, inviting industry leaders from across the globe to give them a stage to come and speak. It's actually been rating the #1 podcast for the cruise sector, specifically in our niche. So I'm extremely proud, and that's another way to stand out in social media. Thank you, Anne.
Podcast. If we can say some, just a word about podcast, because it's a concept and format that really works nowadays for business. I mean.
Yes, podcasts are good, but you need to be very strategic with the timing. You see some podcasts are like an hour long, 45 minutes. The shorter, the better. Small clip. People want small bite size that they can use when they're driving to work. Cruise Convos is 28 minutes or less. That's our goal. Just to give you enough and then, keep going with your day. Now, the most valuable thing that we have is our time. So we got to make sure that what we're putting out on every social channel is going to be attractive. It's going to connect people, and it's going to want to make people see it. So we need to be very strategic. Thank you, Anne-Marie.
Thank you. And I recall to everybody that the session is recorded. So then we can share the session with the YouTube link, MedCruise YouTube link. So we are maybe, I don't know how many are we today, because I can see, yes, we're 37. So we can share this session with our community afterwards. So thank you so much, Claudine. Thank you, Francesca. I really look forward. We are our PDC online next month. Sorry, and have a great spring festival, Francesca. Claudine, see you in Fort Lauderdale.
I can't wait. Thank you, everyone. And if anybody has any questions about social media for next month, please connect with me and let me know, and I'll do my best to touch on those. Keep shining.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, and Felices Fallas to everybody. That's our Spring Festival's name. Bye.
Felices Fallas. Thank you, Francesca. Thank you. And Elena, good morning again. I'm getting back to you, Elena Casas. As I said before, you are MedCruise Community Manager. I am very glad to introduce you today to our members, because I don't think many of us know you yet. Whenever we have some news to post about our posts or activities, you are the one behind the scenes. So first, tell us more about you. Where are you based?
Hello, Marie. First of all, thank you for having me at this morning coffee. And regarding your question, I'm in Tenerife, Spain.
Yeah, because with social media, we can be based everywhere in the world. So that's what I was asking. So how long have you been working with MedCruise, and what have you done before this?
Well, I've been working for MedCruise for 5 years now. I started working for you in 2018. It's 5 years now, as I said. I'm from Tenerife, but I lived abroad before, specifically in Brussels for 10 years. And while I was living there, I studied in an American college. So I have a Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration. Later, I came back to Spain and I focused my career on the marketing field. I completed a master's degree in marketing and communication, and I've been specializing in the digital environment for the last 10 years. And it was in fact an advertising agency where I worked running the digital department that recommended me to MedCruz when I was already working as a freelance, and the association was looking for a community manager with experience and could be fluent in English.
So yes, a long experience yet. Cristina, you have a question for Elena.
Well, yes, first of all, good morning, everybody.
Good morning again. Good morning again.
Thank you, everybody, and Marie for organizing this morning coffee focused on social media. And thank you to all our guests, of course. Yes, as we have seen at the beginning, this short questionnaire that we have done, we can say that we are all on social media, and perhaps not all have a social media channel in terms of a company channel. So you have helped us in the last years, Elena, so thank you for your work down under the scene, as we can say. And we have helped in these years to share all the messages that we have changed also during these years. And the world is changed also a lot, and we need even every day more visibility. We have increased the number of contact, the kind of people that are engaged with us, the kind of company that are engaged with us. But we have seen mainly with the pandemic that a lot of things has started to change and increase in a very, very speedy way, we can say. And now we are covering more or less all the main social media with different targets, different voice and purpose. So it is not so easy when we have to publish on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, on LinkedIn, YouTube. So my question is, can you give to our colleagues and friends some advice how we can decide which is a post that really works today for each social media? So which is the difference which is the difference among the main social media?
Yeah, sure. I have prepared some tips on what kind of posts work well for each social media platform. So, okay, you have them here. So for Facebook, I would say use high quality images and videos to showcase the beauty of your port and the activities available. Share engaging stories. You have stories now also on Instagram, on Facebook, and it's interesting facts about the history and culture of the port. Highlight any upcoming events or promotions that visitors can look forward to. Encourage user-generated content by asking your visitors to share their experience. On Instagram, it's a more visual platform, so post visually stunning images that showcase the unique features and attractions of the port. Use relevant hashtags to increase your reach and engagement. Use Instagram stories as much as you can, also to share the behind-the-scenes glimpses of what happens at the port, and collaborate with influencers or brand ambassadors to reach a wider audience. On Twitter, use catching visuals also, short captions to grab the attention. Engage with followers and respond to any questions or comments that they may have. Because most of the time it happens that we post a lot, but we don't really interact. And on Twitter, it's a question of keeping a conversation. Also share news and updates about the port, including any changes to services or amenities. So you can use also Twitter such as call centers, something like that. So you can answer questions and give useful information. And use trending hashtags to participate in relevant Twitter chats to increase visibility. Finally, for LinkedIn, I would say share articles that showcase the post-sport experience in the industry. It's a more professional platform. Highlight any corporate social responsibility initiatives or sustainable efforts. Share updates on any business developments or partnerships, and use LinkedIn groups to connect with other professionals in the industry and share knowledge and insights. But in general, what I would say is to remember to adapt your content to the strengths of each platform and use each one to reach a different audience. So that you make it worth it to follow you on different platforms and also to reach different people that may be in one platform but not the other one. Consistency is also key. So post regularly and engage with your followers to build a strong community around your post.
Anya, can you put the slide on the chat section for our attendees, maybe? Because I told them to make a screenshot if they are interested in the slide. Maybe we can attach it in the chat.
Okay.
It would be maybe easier for everybody. Yeah, because it's very useful. Thank you so much, Elena.
You're welcome.
Yeah, personally, Instagram is my favorite social. Thanks to its emphasis on visual material, Instagram is one of the most effective social media channels and a great platform for tourism businesses. So, Elena, if you're okay with this, we're going to give some also practical tips to our audience about Instagram. Which kind of pictures can have a big impact and generate a lot of likes for our members?
Yeah, well, pictures that can have a big impact and generate a lot of likes for posts on Instagram could show stunning landscapes and seascapes, unique architecture and landmarks, local cuisine and drinks, images of people enjoying the activities and the events at the port. Always on Instagram, remember to use high quality images and engaging captions to help followers connect with the location and learn more about what it has to offer. Also, using relevant hashtags can help visibility and reach new audiences.
So technically, how can our members share their port or business daily life with MedCruise? A picture of a short text is good, no?
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, well, at MedCruise, we are committed to the promotion of support members, and this obviously extends to the digital environment. Any port is welcome to send their content. Ideally, that would be photo and a text, and then we will adapt it and distribute it through the website and or social networks, depending on what we receive. But we are really willing to receive that kind of content.
So yes. If you said it, we can adapt the material you send to MedCruise. If you don't have a lot of time, or send us photo and a short text, and we're gonna have adapted it for you and share it on MedCruise social media. So, yes, my main message would be it's easy for it can be easy. Social media can be easy. So another easy way to share some material, some posts is also mention MedCruise on their stories.
Yes, they can tag us or mention us, and we will share them in our profiles, of course.
And talking about hashtags, which MedCruise hashtag can our members also use so they can be visible?
Yeah, well, we've been the one that we have maintained for years in our publications, and because we believe that it perfectly represents the values of the association, is hashtag ports together. And of course, ports are more than welcome to include it in their posts.
Yes, so please remember to tag ports together on your business posts so MedCruise can show them and repost on MedCruise social media. We have a large community on social media, so it can increase your visibility and the visibility of your posts. So Cristina, thank you, Elena, for all those very useful tips. I'm gonna get back to you very soon. So Cristina, you are one of MedCruise board director. I said that you are in charge of PR, marketing and communication. I said as well as an introduction, the world has completely changed since 2020 in terms of communication. We discovered remote work, and social media were and still are an open window on the world. So my question is, how MedCruise adapted its use of social media and digital communications for the last couple of years for our members?
Yes, Anne-Marie, thank you for the question. We have had different, we can say, phases in our digital communication. As we have started to in the past terms, so let me thanks also Maria Cano that I have seen is connected because the works done until 1 year ago has been done by her in the past terms. The problem was to change the message that we have to share with our stakeholders, we can say, because our communication was more directed to during the pandemic, to the work in progress, to share that we were working for a safe organization of our infrastructure, of our sector, make people more aware that about the efforts that all our ports were doing in the worst moment of the pandemic. And this was a challenge for us because it was a completely different message that we had to share with our stakeholders. We can say that the Med, as was the first market that make a resumption of the activity, has done a very, very huge work. And now the situation is expecting to have 2029 numbers. So we have to be aware that the world of communication continue to change. And an example, for instance, is the Instagram channel. We can say, for me, is one of the channel that has changed the most, we can say, because it was completely different a few years ago. It's important to be updated in this sense.
You're right, and that's why Medcross Communication is in constant evolution too, to answer our members' expectation and needs, actually. So now, how do you see the next steps for the association in terms of communication?
Well, we are working on it. I think that the training and updating is a really key factor. For this reason, I think that also the work that is doing Francesca is really crucial and important. So thank you for organizing also with Claudine that is still connected this PDC. It is really, we have in front of us a big challenge, because if we use in the best way the digital communication can really be a very strong media, strong tool for us. So we have understood also this morning the huge work that we have behind a social media campaign, a social media management. So finally, let me thank all the people that are working in the secretariat behind the scenes, because I think really it has changed a lot also the work that there is behind this kind of communication, and we can say that we are working on it, and we continue to be updated. So I'm really curious to work with Claudine also in the next PDC. So thank you for sharing your experience with us, Elena and Claudine.
Thank you, Cristina. Exactly, you're totally right. Social media in a business purpose is a huge work, and we have a fantastic secretariat and a fantastic Anya who do it so well. That's the reason why I want to encourage again our members who don't have maybe the human resources or the time to have social media profiles to send us their news. So we'll publish them on Medcross profiles to a large community. Before we go on with Elena, we have a question on the chat from Laura Cimaglia, our dear Laura Cimaglia. A question for our experts: when social media communication is too much, can you give us some tips for our port's strategies? who does want to answer the question? Elena, Claudine, do you want to?
I can jump on for sure.
Claudine.
All right. Yeah. So what I would answer to that is it depends on what content you're putting out. If you're putting out the exact same content over and over and over, it's too much. You need to be intentional with the content. So I would have to look at your port, see the size of it. How much movement do you have? If it's a larger port, you're going to have more content basically, but you can have content of people even working and the port. You could feature someone in your port as a good post, and then you're connecting. So now you're not just telling about what's happening at the port. This is when we start being intentional and creating connection. Now we're talking about the people involved, and we connect with people, not with items, right? So this is when we start thinking, oh, okay, I'm going to bring some of this in and mixing it up. When you think of your social media strategy, think of a really good salad. What do you put in the salad? You put a little bit of, I was going to say it's too early, but it's not too early. You guys are around lunchtime. It's too early for me. It's breakfast time here. But think of what goes into a salad. And each part is a different thing that you want to include in your social media strategy. So it really would depend, but being noticed is never bad, right? But be intentional. What are you putting out? What are you putting out? And is there a good mix of your material? That's my answer.
Thank you, Claudine. Elena, you want to add something?
No, I agree. You have to have a little bit of everything, and you have to have a purpose in what you do, and do it for a reason. And just post because I have this today and I have that tomorrow, and I just post like that. You must have a strategy, and that's what we do with MedCruz. I mean, we do really have some objectives that are really clear to us, and we have some indicators that tell us what we are doing, and we're really following a path. From the outside, it might not look like, but there is really a strategy, and every post has a purpose.
Yeah, and when we collaborate with our port and associate members, Elena, is always winning things. No, do you have in mind which post from one of our members adds the most of likes? So this can bring some idea to every one of us on what to send.
Yeah, well, with MedCruz, LinkedIn is a platform where we have created the largest community. We have 4,200 followers there. And I think one of the reasons is because there we can, in every post, we can tag both corporate accounts and individual profiles. So the posts tend to get a lot of visibility and hence recommendations or likes. That's how they call them in that platform. So any post that refers to port achievements or special events that we share on our website as press releases, and then we distribute that across the social networks, work very well here. So there are two examples
yes,
that you can see. Yeah. So let me see. You have one from Porto Cruz Terminal. It has 26 likes from different types. And then the one from Port of Tarragona has 56. So this is the type of content that works better on LinkedIn.
And actually, Elena, some of our members are more prolific sharing news and pictures with MedCruz, right? So can you tell us who is on the top of the list? You just said it, but...
Yeah, well, we are really eager to receive news and updates from all the port members that we can publish. So we really encourage them to keep doing it. But right now, in the current ranking, is the Port of Tarragona that is at the top of the list.
Yeah. So thank you, Elena. And Genoveva, good morning. You are actually Commercial and Business Development Director at Port Tarragona. We saw you on the screen on the LinkedIn post Elena showed. So before we talk about your presence on social media, I would like to hear more about your port, of course. But first, let's show some video you sent us before. Anya, please. Wow. Good morning, Genoveva. What a beautiful project you have here. So,
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, it's a nice moment now.
yeah, I look forward to see it. But yes, I'm going to talk about 2024 later with you. So first, we have some slides from Genoveva. So can you give us some presentation of your port and cruise activity to start with, please?
Yeah, well, as you can see in the next slide, this project nowadays, it began in 2012 with very few presence of cruises in Tarragona, and then we decided to create the project, to start working with the destination, with the different tourism organizations in our city, the closest cities in the region. And therefore, we started to have more and more and achieve more and more cruises and passengers. As you can see now, with the break of the COVID-19 that we all suffered, and recovering nowadays the activity that we left in 2019, with 63 calls that we had, and we were increasing. So nowadays we have we are waiting this year. Here it says 50, but we have nowadays 56. And with these passengers that are growing and growing, because we are not keeping to willing to have not only premium and luxury, but also the like MSC that this year is going to have 26 calls in Tarragona. So that's how we are nowadays.
So yes, for 2023, we can see the cruise activity started again and in a very good shape, actually. So let's get back to social media now, please, Genoveva. In the next slides, we're gonna see how you use social media for your promotion, actually. So firstly, can you tell us what sharing news on MedCruise social media brings to Port Tarragona? We saw your post on the screen a few minutes ago. You are on the top of the list sharing news with MedCruise. Does it bring to Tarragona?
Well, in Tarragona, the way we work with the social media, as the commercial department, we are not dealing with the social media. We're not. We don't have a port community member. This figure is under the communication direction. So the way we work is that as commercial department, all the things and the activities that we realize we do. We inform the communication department, so to tell them what we are doing, the actions that we are developing, and the public, we think it should be addressed this new,
Okay, so you don't have a community manager in your team.
No, we just make the promotion and the commercial activity, and then we inform the communication department so to be aligned with the news that they have to publish, and they decide finally where, in which social media they are going to publish it. We have 4, as you can see here. LinkedIn, YouTube, because we also have a great quantity of videos. Last year we developed 40 videos, and with an impact of 5,000 visualizations, views. Twitter also, and Facebook. Not all of them are for the same kind of news as I was telling you. For example, Facebook is normally used for communicate things that are of interest for the citizens we have in our city. Okay, and Twitter could be both things, no, for local and regional news that we have. The videos are business activity, and LinkedIn are mostly business activity.
And you have a large community, I saw on LinkedIn. You have 6,000 people following you on LinkedIn. So that's quite a thing. And which language do you use on social media, actually?
We use different languages depending on the public, the audience that we will to communicate and to inform. So that means that, for example, if we are publishing something in Facebook, normally it's in Catalan because it's for the citizens in Tarragona. Twitter could be both, and YouTube and LinkedIn, we use both, but mostly English.
Okay.
Because it's for the business sector, the transport, the maritime transport, you see, international.
Do you want Anya to go on the following slide, maybe?
This is the target audience, as I was telling you, no? Business is more focused on LinkedIn and YouTube. Local and regional is Twitter and Facebook. And this is also the languages that we normally use.
And yes, please, Anya, we have some.
And this is an example of LinkedIn with the news that is in English, because it's just to be informing the cruise sector. That we were doing this presentation jointly with MSC during the Fitur Fair. Another example is this one in LinkedIn also, but this was in Catalan, as you can see, because this was an event that we organized to talk about sustainability in the cruise sector. And this it was focused for the citizens and institutions in Tarragona, so that they are understanding that this sector is making a lot of efforts to be sustainable, and that is not a bad tourism for the region.
Can I before we go to the next slides, I would like to ask a question, because yes, we are talking about LinkedIn, Twitter. Figen, you had a question on the chat. It was, what's the best for our members? Is repost, or is it to like a post? Maybe Elena, you can answer the question. What is the best? Do we have to repost it, or do we have to just like it? Is it the same to post or
well,
like?
it depends. It depends, because not all platforms allow you to repost. So, but what's best would be to interact and to say something, to answer some questions, to put some kind of interaction there. But it depends. It depends a lot on the platform you're using. Okay? So if you're like on Instagram, you can share on your stories, so you're reposting some kind of repost. But also, it's always better to interact and generate conversations.
And Genoveva, can we see the following slide, because it is actually about the impact of social media on your port's promotion.
Yeah, the next one. This is an example of Twitter, and as you can see, this is in Catalan because we were the audience was for the citizens, and then the last one is the impacts that we are. This is an example of LinkedIn, and that's well, I don't know if you can see it. One of the most important news, that we shared and that they had more reactions was precisely one about our cruise activity, with one news that we published talking about our 3 calls at the same time, the same day in Tarragona, and just to show you these impacts that we are having, and this is what the community, people from communications are viewing and analyzing those impacts, so to be more active and more precise to the audiences that they follow the news.
So which social media is the most successful for you? Which one has the biggest impact? It's LinkedIn, actually?
For me, as a commercial department, is LinkedIn, obviously. But if we talk about the Port Authority, there are the 4 of them because we have different audiences, as I've been telling you, and then different kind of news are of different interest and different social media platforms.
Okay, so thank you so much, Genoveva. It was really interesting to have your point of view on social media as a port and to learn how you deal with it. So may I say see you soon in Tarragona, because in spring 2024 we have a Medcruise General Assembly in Tarragona, so we can see this beautiful project you showed us in the video.
Exactly. It would be hopefully not a render as you saw in the video, but we will then have the terminal, so we could enjoy then all together and inaugurate it with the global ports. Yeah. So hopefully we will have it there, and we will have a nice time. We'll
be there for sure, and we're gonna have the occasion to talk about it again soon. Thank you so much, Genoveva. Thank you, Sandra, for being with us today. Before closing this session, I would like to give the floor to our new Secretary General, Nikki Guerrero. Nikki, please, the floor is yours.
So, I suppose it's appropriate to say. Okay, it's appropriate to say #good morning. I know that most of you know me very well, some better than others, some only a little bit, some not at all. So I'd like to say good day to those of you who don't. I think that a lot of you know that for me, this has been a little bit like coming home. It's my privilege to have been asked by FIGEN and by the board of directors. And I'm very grateful to be given this opportunity to join you once again in a different capacity. So I'm really grateful for that. I hope that you will be patient for me, as I know some of you have been in the first couple of months that I'm with you, as I find my feet. And obviously, I have big shoes to fill because Amelia did a wonderful job. But I have to tell you that the job is made easier not only by the support that I get from the president and the board of directors, but more importantly, on a daily basis, by the 2 wonderful people that make up the secretariat. That's Anya and Sarah. Thank you so much. They're getting used to me now, I think, more or less, and getting to know me. I will be with them next week in person, which is not a bad thing. So thank you once again for giving me this opportunity. I look forward to working with all of you. As you know, I have been a part of this association, and my love for this association goes back for over a quarter of a century. So we will continue to do great things together. Thank you all.
Thank you, Nikki. I missed your 20 language good morning.
I can send you the list if you want.
No. It's your thing. It's your personal thing, and we love you for all of these little things you share with us. And it's our great pleasure to have you again in the family. So that's time to say goodbye, but I would like to remember we have a lot of MedCruise members on social media like Port Tarragona. So please follow them for sharing experiences, but also inspiration. Because in the very first place, social media were also a space of communication and inspiration, and I like them for this genuine purpose as well. Of course, follow MedCruise, and don't forget to share your news with us, even with a little tag on your post so we can repost it. Claudine, Elena, Genoveva, thanks again. It was really nice having your different perspective on social media today. Thank you also to my wonderful guest host, Francesca Antonelli and Cristina De Gregori for their collaboration today. Nikki, Anya, Sarah, you are my dream team too. And a big thanks to all of you for joining us today. See you soon for another MedCruise Morning Coffee. Thank you so much.
Can I share something, Anne-Marie?
Of course, the floor is yours. We have some minutes to open the floor to everybody. Yes.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for the great session. Just want to share with you that I will be moderating 4 sessions in C-Trade, so the C-Trade conference, for anybody who might be interested. Very quickly, on Monday, there will be 2 sessions, marketing your destination, how to differentiate, at 11:45. Later on that day, at 3 o'clock, we're running our destination management one-to-one workshop. On Tuesday, I'm moderating the European Cruising CEO panel, very interesting panel. And finally, on Thursday, a brand new topic, net zero or net hero, where we start talking about offsetting in total, not just the cruise lines and the cruise ships, but also the ports, the excursions. And we will be offsetting that session as well. So it's a very interesting chapter. I hope to see you all in my session. Thank you. Thank you, Anne-Marie.
Thank you, Ioannis. Thank you. It's nice to see how active our MedCruise members are on the international events too. Christina, please. Yes. Sorry,
No,
I should have left the floor to you before. Sorry.
No. It was only to give the floor to Ioannis that was trying to to speak. Thank you once again, Anne-Marie.
Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day, and see you soon in Fort Lauderdale for the next big cruise event. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.